What's up, guys? Welcome back to TFGoose Gaming. I'm TFGoose here with Vendetta, and as promised, today we're going to cover Wizzy stuff.
Yay!
Ah! Vendetta's
Oh,
class.
ledge! Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. How about that? See? We planned that. We called Blizzard, and we're like, no. I'm just kidding. No, if you missed the previous video on the Witch Doctor, basically we're just going to open the video here with some action for you guys. Obviously, discuss the build that Vendetta is using and talk about, gear and stuff that might be applicable towards it or might help. And then, of course, at the end of the video, we'll show you the actual full skill screen and gear and details pane and Paragon and all that crap too. But I think it's better to just go right into the action myself. So with that, take it away, man. What's our first skill?
Yeah, my first skill here, I have a magic weapon. Force weapon is the rune. I like this because it gives you an additional 20% damage, and that is awesome.
Yeah, pretty standard, honestly. I mean, that's like, duh, give me more damage, right?
Yeah, I mean, pre-RoS, I didn't really use this skill a whole lot. I just didn't feel it was really needed, but, that 20%, man, that adds up.
Yeah, very quickly, and if you don't need the extra skill slot for something else for your build, then, you might as well take it. I mean, 20% is no joke.
Right, so, I'm pretty happy with this. Moving on, though, this is a skill that is kind of debated. Some people like it, some people don't. I, however, think it's extremely overpowered, and that is Black Hole. That's our new skill in the expansion. It pulls all the mobs close together, and with the rune that I use, Event Horizon, it actually eats elite affixes.
Yeah, that thing is ridiculous. I mean, and I've seen this too on forum posts and stuff, man, where people are kind of dissing Black Hole a little bit, and it's specifically that rune. Like, well, if you're going to use it at all, you use different ones. You use like, what's the Supermassive? Is that one of the other ones?
Yeah, that one changes the radius to 20 yards instead of
the default 8 or 10 or whatever it is.
15.
15.
So
okay.
5 extra yards.
Yeah, so I mean, and I see the appeal of that, I guess, but being able to suck in elite affixes, hello.
Yeah, it's amazing utility, and that's what it is. You're talking about higher torments. You're gonna need some of that utility. Break the walls. Eat the electrify, the molten. It's just amazing skill, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't deny that. I think personally it's very underrated, and I know you do too. And I like rolling with you, simply because elite fights are that much easier.
Yeah.
Because of that skill.
So yeah, that's my second skill. Moving on, I have Archon with improved Archon, which is 25% increased damage. I'm working on my Veer set, which we'll kind of talk about armor a little later, but basically that allows you to have every rune of Archon, which is wow.
Crazy. Yeah. Archon's already ridiculous. Putting every rune on it is just like, oh gosh. I want to see it. I don't even play the class, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So moving on from there, we have I use energy armor with what's it called? Prismatic.
Prismatic, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, which is the one that gives you 25% increased resistances. I like this because in RoS you really need a good amount of toughness. I know not everybody likes this rune because it takes away 20 arcane power, but for me it's a fair trade-off.
Yeah, especially I think people undervalue toughness with regard to defensive stats rather than just HP.
Yeah.
Toughness can go up quite a bit just because of your HP, but it's kind of illusory that way. You really want higher defensive stats once you get above like 400,000 or 500,000 HP. I mean, more is fine, but it's not like critical.
You want what's called effective hit points, not inflated.
Exactly, and you want to be able to heal those up quickly, or just flat don't take as much damage. I mean, that's the key. So, and that rune, I think, really helps that. So.
Yeah, so those are my 4 primary, and then my left clicky is Electrocute, which is I like this skill, and particularly the rune I run, because it gives me some range, which is the lightning blast. I like that. A lot of people like to use the cone skill, which gives you 310% damage, which is great. I mean, it is increased damage, but again, I like some of the utility. Kind of a theme here.
Yeah, no doubt. Sometimes it's not all about, oh my gosh, what's the absolute best damage? You know, I mean, damage is important, but being able to, you know, get those utility skills in there is equally important, if not more so, in some situations.
Yeah, so, you know, that's why I use this particular skill. And then my final skill here is Arcane Orb, Frozen Orb. I'd played around a lot with, like, Arcane Torrent and Disintegrate, and I had a Light's Grace. I tried Ray of Frost. It just, I don't know, it didn't feel as good to me as Arcane Orb does.
And that's even post-nerf. I mean, you know, Frozen Orb used to be even more OP because it used to hit, you know, one additional time because of how the mechanics of the skill used to work. But it was broken. I mean, everybody knew it, you know. But once they fixed it, I think, you know, you agree, it's still the best rune in Arcane Orb. You know, without a doubt, right?
Yeah, I tried the other one, the Electrocute one. That one was absolutely terrible. I didn't like it. I've seen one other wizard use it, and I just don't like it at all. It kind of has like a bouncy ball effect.
Oh, like, yeah, I've seen that one. It's like a lob, right?
Yeah, no, I hate that. Trying to aim it is a nightmare, and I didn't feel that at all.
Fair enough. So what about on passives, man? What's important here to the build?
On passives, I use Prodigy that pairs nicely with my Electrocute just to get some more arcane power. Because if anything, my gear kind of lacks the arcane power on crit, and I find myself running out at times. You know, trying to spam orbs can be quite mana intensive.
Yeah,
so,
I would think so.
You know, you don't need really any particular gear for this build, but, you know, like I have the Talrashas, as you guys can see, because meteors.
It's raining meteors.
Yeah, meteors falling from the sky, crushing babies. No, what? No, it's awesome. And then my next skill is Unwavering Will. I find that, you know, that's the bonus. It gives you, like, I think 10% damage, 20% resistances, 10% armor, I believe. And that one's quite useful because a lot of the times I am standing still. You know, if you're mobile and you're moving a lot, it's kind of a worthless skill. You know, go with something else. But I find, for my playstyle and this build specifically, that I am standing still a lot.
And I imagine that's probably even more so when you're playing with others, especially if you get, you know, a tank in your group or something. You know, when they can sit there and soak all the damage and you can just sit there and just pump them full of Archon. You know, why not?
Right. Yeah,
that's
it's
what
awesome.
I'm thinking.
Whoops. And
we're doing really, really well, by the way, with finding the exit to this rift, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. We're doing great.
So then after that, what's next on the passive train for you?
We have Elemental Exposure. This gives you 5% increased damage over 5 seconds. Can stack up to 5 times, I believe. And this is nice because I use, you know, Arcane, Frost, and Lightning. So it kind of pairs, you know, nice with that.
Yeah.
You know, and then my final one, Glass Cannon. Jeez, I had to look.
I had to look for my last one, too, and you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, how could I forget that? But
that's just 15% raw damage, but it costs you 10% defense. I'm kind of heavier into defense than probably most wizards, but again, you know, as we talked about earlier, I think defense is kind of underrated, especially for, you know, a wizard who's made out of paper mache.
Yeah, and the thing to keep in mind is, like, you've spent time, you know, pumping up your toughness somewhat, you know, so you can afford to make that trade-off.
Yeah, exactly, because you do 0 DPS when you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your effective DPS when dead is 0. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
You know, and something a lot of people don't keep in mind. So, you know, you can sacrifice some toughness, you know, in the name of damage, but you don't want to do too much or else, you know, you're just going to pay for it. So, totally understandable. So, in the realm of gear and stuff, then, you were mentioning, you know, I know you're going for your Veer set and you got the Talrasha set, but you're wanting to do both of those, I know, because you're wearing the best ring in the game, right?
Yep, that's right. I'll just go ahead and open up my my sheet here. I got the Ring of Royal Grandeur. It got an okay roll. I could really use a better one. But yeah, in my opinion, this ring is the most powerful in the entire game because it reduces that set cost to a minimum of 2.
Yeah, you basically you get that full or the set bonuses one piece early. You just have to have 2 in order to activate it, basically. So
yeah, exactly.
You know, I get that. Otherwise, if you put 1 on, you immediately have a 2 set bonus. It's like that'd be super cheesy, but
Yeah.
But
So
otherwise, I mean, other stuff that you might have. What else is like really critical to the build, if anything?
I don't think anything is really critical. Like I have 2 pieces of Veers and I have 3 pieces of Talrashas. Something that I really like, and if you guys are lucky enough to get one of these, is the Countess Julia's cameo. Being immune to arcane is Ermagerd. It's amazing.
Yeah, such an annoying affix, and to be able to just laugh at it and know that it's actually healing you is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing. I would love to have one of those. I actually just got the Golden Gorge of Leoric.
Which one's that do?
It's the thing that summons a pack of skeletons whenever for you to fight on your side whenever you get a massacre bonus.
Oh, okay.
I believe it is. Yeah, and for 10 seconds. But the thing is, they they count as pets, so they count with that uncapped crit damage that they put in.
Gotcha.
But the bad part is they're kind of dumb because skeletons are kind of dumb,
Yeah.
Sometimes they just kind of stand around for a minute and don't really do anything. So I'm only wearing it because I happen to get one that rolled 20% cold damage on it, and that actually fits beautifully with my build. So
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't bother with it, honestly. But yeah, I'd drop it in a hot second for Countess Julia's camo.
Yeah, I took some DPS loss, about 8%, but I can honestly say your survivability, and especially if you play later tournaments, I should point out that with my gear and this build, I've done T5 with no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, And granted, I mean, you have some really OP stuff. I mean, you really do.
I do.
But the build itself is certainly very viable without all the crazy gear. I mean, you can do pretty well. Certainly on younger tournaments, you've been running this build for a while.
A long while.
A long while without much modification, at all. So, and it's just been enhanced by your gear, and that's kind of the theme. That's what we're looking for. Some of these builds that require, absolutely require complete sets to use. They're great in the end game, but what about getting there?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know about you, man, but I'm one of those people. I don't really like to look up builds. I'd rather make something that, I made, and that really suits my playstyle, because in the end, that's really all that matters, is that you enjoy your character.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And some people are going to be min-maxers, and they're going to want to look stuff up and make sure, oh my gosh, I got to make sure that I'm not, missing out on something awesome. And that's fine. If that's you, go for it, but I think there's a lot of fun to be had with trying things out and just seeing, what you can do. What can you put together on your own without any advice, and maybe you'll discover something that not everybody else is using and be one step ahead, or you can contribute to the community and tell other people about it. It depends on, some people are like, no, go away, I'm keeping my awesome build.
Yeah, like I know right now fire is really popular for wizards. That's become like the new frozen orb, if you will. But
what is, did you say?
Fire
Yeah,
builds.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't really have the gear for fire. A lot of people try to get the plus fire damage stuff, but it doesn't look very fun to me. I could be wrong, but not my play style personally.
Yeah, and meanwhile, that's going to be all in, some other people want to do, So that's the beauty of the game, and we're having a lot of fun with ROS, obviously, and there's a lot of builds to try out, and I think that's one of the main reasons that the game is doing so much better than it was previously, amongst some other changes, is they made it so you can really try out several different builds now and still be viable, and still have those end game pieces to look forward to that might give you something really, really cool, like your Archon effect or your current crazy meteor effect, right?
Explosion. Yeah.
So
oh yeah, we forgot Paragon points.
Oh yeah, if you would just want to run through those really quick, and then maybe just show like your details pane for folks, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, so we'll start with core here. I got movement speed maxed out, and then I put my points into arcane power as to where Goose put his into intelligence, because you can never have enough arcane power. I went with crit hit damage and attack speed because for my build, that's what I need. These are all honestly pretty viable. For defense, I went with armor and Rezal and a little bit of life regen, just because I don't have a lot of it, and I hate when I'm missing hit points that the red bar doesn't go up.
Absolutely.
It's like a OCD thing. Anyway.
Yep. Pet peeve. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I have area damage and some life on hit, just to help with the healing. Gold find I think is worthless. Resource cost reduction is good, but for only 0.20% per point, I'd rather get life on hit.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing that you'll definitely be able to utilize later. And there are some cool cooldown reduction builds and resource cost reduction builds that are out there, for every class really, but in many ways, some of them are not quite as effective as some others, and therefore, dumping Paragon on it when you could be getting life on hit or area damage just generally isn't a good idea. But, I'm sure there's some people out there that are running that and think it's absolutely essential, and more power to you, again, beauty of the game.
Yeah, so right here you guys can see my details pane, my attack speed, my crit hit, my crit damage. I'm running a little low on crit hit damage. Definitely have good crit. You can see my resistances, and the reason I'm moving around is because of my passive, and it will skew the results. But you guys can kind of see here, when I stand still, ding, I gain 3 million toughness.
Yeah.
So we got some reduced crowd control, which is really nice. I have some good life per kill, some life per hit is awesome, health glow bonus. My resource regen is great. And yeah, that's pretty much my character. I do want to point out weapons really quick. I have a Thunder Fury. It works really well. It rolled pretty decently for me. But another really good weapon, if you guys have not seen it, is the Mad Monarch Scepter, which I have one here in my stash.
That's from the Act 1 bounties, is it not? Just like
yes,
the,
it is.
Bringer World Grandeur?
Yeah, that effect right there, that kill 10 enemies and you release a poison nova that deals, 1,241% damage, is insane.
Yeah, it slays. It's really, really strong. So actually, since you bring that up, that can be a really powerful Witch Doctor item as well, just because it's poison damage, and people can stack poison damage.
That's a good point.
On Witch Doctor, and that thing can slay even more. So, but still, even when you're not stacking it, that's a monstrous amount of damage and a really nice item, and that everybody can go farm just because it's a drop out of Act 1 bags. So maybe you'll get one while you're looking for your ring.
It's actually not a terrible Bulkathos I just looted.
Oh, excellent. Cool.
So, yeah. So
I think that'll do it, right?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. If you guys have...
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, we might have some more Diablo 3 content coming at you if we come across anything else we want to share with you as the days, weeks, and months go by with this game. Otherwise, stay tuned for more content on our other games and anything else that comes our way. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.